line. Reinhardt just kind of having a free will to walk forward, and oh my god, this Genji is absolutely popping off.
Sure, you need these picks, you need to go in here. The duel is going to quickly and swiftly dodge roll to take down that Nautilus here, securing the top here. Not quite going to get this pick right here, but you're going to take down the reflux. Low board into the level 3. Oh my god. Yo.
Oh, he's done for. He is done for.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Washington State Scholastic Esports Association. My name is Nyarko. I am here with Hot Sauce, and we are ready for Overwatch 2 quarterfinals. It has been a long road up to this point here in WSSEA, Hot Sauce, but finally, we are here in playoffs, and we got a very interesting matchup on the table. Two teams who have been making a tear-through bracket, yet still have not met each other just yet. We'll be scoring off here in a best-of-3 as we dive on into this series. I'm very, very excited to see exactly what these two teams showcase. How you feeling tonight?
Hey, you know, we're finally getting over a sickness here, so on the outskirts, definitely feeling better than I did, and hopefully everybody else had a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. We're glad to have everybody back here today for this high-packed action. Of course, Prairie High School 6-0, but only the number 3 seed, even though they're undefeated. It just kind of goes to show you how much talent here is across this league in WSSEA, but they are going to be taking on the Red Devils, who are 4-2. They are that 6th seed. There's a plethora of talent littered across both of these teams. We are going to be starting out on that map that we're all very, very familiar with of Kings Row, but I think it's going to be a very exciting day here in Nyarko.
Oh, absolutely. I'm really liking the fact that these two teams have gotten quite a bit of footage of one another through the broadcast across WSSEA for a while now, but really it's going to come down to what they do in the fields of battle, and it's kind of do or die, right? In many cases, we're used to best of 5 or longer series for Overwatch in particular, but a best of 3 means that you need to be able to ramp up and shape up early, and I really do think it comes down to how much of that footage over the course of the season did you study, how much do you know your opponent, and frankly, the way that you do that is kind of by watching us here on broadcast. So we thank everybody for tuning on in. We also want to thank all of the sponsors that allow for us to keep the lights on over here and continue to jam these broadcasts week after week. And one of the first people I want to talk about, of course, on that front is ZOTAC. Give a huge shout out to them time and time again for supporting high school, college, and even middle school esports. Really, they do it all, and they power so many different people on so many different levels. So let's give them a shout out on social media, of course. Whenever you post, make sure that you use hashtag powered by ZOTAC or hashtag ZOTAC USA. And also, we got a Discord somewhere in the doobly-doo, so make sure that you guys drop a follow on there and just get into that community and see what else they are building through here in WSSEA and beyond.
Yeah, speaking of lovely communities, we'd also have to reach out and shout out thanks to LANFest here for continuously building healthy communities through gaming with over 20 different chapters across the U.S. and over 150 different events a year. So we strongly encourage everybody to head over to LANFest.com, check it out, and hopefully find a chapter and an event near you.
And finally, of course, we got Seattle built PCs. Love the fact that we have one of the local boys coming on in here and really supporting the stream. WSSEA is very much empowered by these players and by the people building these PCs in kind, working in this wonderful harmony with one another. Seattle built PCs, of course, builds custom PCs that have been trusted by the pros since 2020. They've been crafted incredible rigs across a wide variety of different content creators, esports players with millions of fans, and even developers of your favorite games. So if you guys want to give a shout out to Seattle built PCs or see what that little Shamu can do for you in regards to building your next rig, definitely make sure to check them out at seattlebuilt.com.
Yeah, it's that ultimate performance, that one-of-kind aesthetics, and that small business value. We love Seattle-built PCs over here, but I'm excited to get into the action. We're finally getting into the quarterfinals here as we start off this postseason. Of course, Prairie High School undefeated here, so it's not going to be an easy task for the Red Devils, but they are a very talented team. I believe they have a Grandmaster, at least one on their side as well, and I think that's Werby to be looking out for. I think Senator Slime also was in the top 500. So I think it's going to be an interesting one. Kings Row, as we mentioned before, both teams are going to be very, very comfortable on this map as well. Of course, Escort will be next. And then if we get there, we'll finish up with Control. We always talk about it. I love the payload maps, the hybrids, the Escorts. So, I'm in a little slice of heaven here today.
Oh, yeah, I'm right there with you. I love these payload-oriented maps. That being said, I'm feeling the Kings Row fatigue.
Yeah.
Well, for us, it is fatigue, right? For them, it is experience. It is game knowledge. And I think that is going to translate to some very, very, very dynamic shoves on either side. I think as the season has gone on here in WSSEA in particular, we're seeing this as a very attacker-sided map. A lot of really deep pushes are had, but you got to break the dam early and often by getting through that first point. That oftentimes can be a real difficult thing to do, a real forward in the side of teams who just necessarily lose the first few trades behind on old cars and from there cannot find a way to actually bring this puppy home. Got a very interesting dynamic in the competition here. Senator Slime, of course, as we talked about, that top 500 player for the side of the Prairie High School. They're going to be jamming Junker Queen. Notably not going Jotes here. They're going hybrid Jotes by bringing out that Juno in place of the Lucio, which breaks my heart, of course, because frankly, my man has been completely supplanted by this support. But I do like the fact that they are still going very brawly with Dawn going onto this Genji. Leviathan definitely gonna have their hands full just trying to keep this Cyborg Ninja topped off for the while. Meanwhile, on the other side, Boyo Cat hovering the Winston at the very least. Obviously, there is a chance that things will be swapped up on one side or the other, but Senator Slime right at the door does want to run out here. Speed Boost already activated. This Junker Queen accelerated to try to jam through the gap to start things off. And already we are seeing a 1-4 split there from the blue squad. East Valley High School mostly clustering around the point. They got the Winston pretty far forward, hiding in that corner, looking to pick somebody off. Now hopping back to the point themselves. This is quite the fallback here. A lot of respect being given to Prairie High School. Let's see if it pays off.
And we don't normally see that much space given there at that open gate, but MJ is going to find the first pick here, and that's going to be Juno, who does go down. So having success from this window, and we do see Prairie maybe just backing off a little bit here, looking to regroup. And I think it's a smart decision as well. Not too much time has really been expended. We do see Don in that back line trying to create a confusion, and that could give the opportunity for his team to kind of find their way onto the point here.
Yeah, Don playing pretty aggressively. Actually does have the diving onto MJ Sev. Will be able to pick off this Widowmaker, and this should be enough for a very quick take at point number one. Prairie High School going to be able to hop over that first barrier that I was mentioning, and they do it so quickly that now East Valley High School are going to have to find some real footing on the second point, lest this entire game get away from them.
Yeah, the Red Devils had a nice stop there initially, but what a quick answer right back from Prairie, and it was honestly kind of off of that dive from Dawn in that backline, potentially, or eventually finding that Widow first, and then allowing the team to work onto the point, and after that, they kind of started dropping like flies. So we do see that change coming out off of Winston onto that Reinhardt now that the payload has been unlocked. Reaper up top here looking to apply some damage as well, but we'll see if this tank change can offer some value for them.
Now, this is pretty interesting. MJ Sev is going to remain on this Widowmaker, and I'm a little bit worried about the value this character is bringing to the table. Of course, now they do have Ultimate available, and that can bring some stuff to the team. But because Agent Guest is on Reaper, which doesn't do consistent damage, instead plays very hit and run, MJ Sev has a lot of weight on the shoulders to constantly be a threat. And right now, unfortunately, East Valley High School cannot answer back against this onslaught brought in by Senator Slime going on a rampage. Don follows through. 2 ultimates still on the docket for Prairie, and I think that should be enough for them to get second point here. Not a whole lot in the way of good contests are able to come through for Blue Squad, especially as they're getting staggered. Agent Guest picked off once again. Boyo Cat trying to establish a front line, but there's just no way to do so when the threat around the corner is a Dragon Blade and a High Noon.
Yeah, we saw the ult already come out from Senator, and they were able to preserve the other 2 here as well. And just Junker Queen getting in that back line, Dawn able to dive right after, and they're just having a little bit of trouble kind of dealing with that combo, I believe. We are going to see a couple more ults come out here as well as they look to push this payload into the second checkpoint. Dawn is going to find one, though, but Reinhardt quick to find that exchange there, so not a ton of value out of that ult. Beyonce, I don't think, found anything with the Deadeye there as well. So, honestly, they did a good job of kind of getting away from those ults and not allowing Prairie to have too much value. But here comes Senator Slime looking to cap things off, and with the tank down, now maybe a little bit easier of a push here for Prairie.
Yeah, it really looks like Prairie High School can play fast, they can play slow, and right there we saw a great contestation on the front line, the hindrance coming through from Beyonce, Sandra Slam landing that killing blow, and now once again Dawn diving the back line, knowing that this is the time to jam the gas pedal. MJ Seb going to be staggered away from the rest of the team, hammer down, dropped. Bongo Cat trying to get a response here, will be able to pick up 2, but it's for the cost of one of their DPSs and supports. Now we do have the nano boost dropped onto Boingo Cat, that should be enough for the Reinhardt to actually stop the push onto the point, but look at this, not a whole lot of yardage left on the table, and it looks like for the time being Red Squad will be able to extract everybody. Genji on the run right now, Agent Guest with the fadeaway actually getting the kill right there. That will buy a little bit more time and hopefully space for East Valley.
Yeah, great chase there by Agent to finalize that and kind of extend the longevity of that stagger just a little bit. Has the Death Blossom as well. We know how devastating that ult can be if they are able to drop into the back line here as well. We do see at least one ult on the other side. Both of the ult economies fairly even here as well. Junker Queen, though, dangerously close to that ult, and it could be a huge game changer. Agent's going to find one, make it another as well. MJ got one on the mix, but Dawn, Senator, quick to find trades back as well, and somehow still doing well in this fight.
Yeah, once again, Prairie High School just completely turns expectations. You really would think that a team at this high of a level would pay more respect to the Death Blossom, but because they saw a fight that was still in advantage, even as they lost 3 people, they were able to play quite belligerently there, and while that did lead to solid picks on the Blue Squad side, East Valley High School unfortunately didn't actually stop much of this push, and now look at this, back as a 5 seconds, going to be Prairie High School trying to rally one more time to bring this home. Beyonce back with their Deadeye available. Senator Slime going to be topped off here. Big boost to the shields and the heat holding. And now we have Dawn cresting over towards Dragon Blade as well, looking for a flank. Senator Slime going to be anti-heal, but Dark Zero is going to die, approaching too far forward to drop that biotic grenade for their efforts. That being said, look at the response here. The Boingo Cat with a brilliant swap to the Orisa is going to lead a charge in that will lead also to a staggered out team kill. And so as the clock ticks down, they are salvaging this. Right now, there's still no guarantee that we're going to get the 3 points, and even if we do, Prairie High School is no longer in that speed run territory, that stomp territory that we get so scared about here on Wasia.
Yeah, I think this change to Orisa has been nice. We saw a nice spear onto the Junker Queen. The sleep came in right after as well, and they really kind of nullified what Junker Queen was doing. So we see them looking for the Deadeye here.
Oh, no!
A huge triple kill. Dawn will find the 2-piece as well. A big team kill coming in. They'll be able to walk it on in. A little more than 2 minutes on the clock. And after a phenomenal initial stop there late in the game by the Red Devils, it's Prairie High School that's able to power on through, and they are looking mighty fierce at the moment.
Oh, hot sauce. That's not supposed to happen at this level. You aren't supposed to be able to get 3 or 4-man Deadeyes. The ability is bad. People talk about Cassidy like he doesn't have an ult. And for the most part, we saw East Valley High School respect it. Earlier on, we saw Beyonce unable to get anything, and it was actually one of the first stumbling blocks that Prairie High School hit, right? They dropped the Dragon Blade, only got a 1-for-1 trade. Beyonce got nothing, and East Valley was eventually able to stagger out that fight and hold. But on the other side, as soon as you play once unawares, you get into a sticky situation like this, and now Prairie High School got a very solid 2 minutes on the clock by which to still stay dominant with the full 3 points available. All they got to do is hold East Valley High School back, and they're halfway to advancing to semifinals.
Yeah, we see the swap to Maga coming out as well. Beyonce off the Cassidy, on to the Reaper here as well. On the other side of things, not much changes. We will see Dark go to the Moira from the Ana as well. It does like Warby will jump over to Juno off the Brigette, but Agent making some swaps here too. So it looks like both of these teams fairly comfortable on switching up agents. Maybe Warby and Dark are going to make a last-minute swap here as well. But we saw Prairie really come out with a very fast pace. They had a ton of time on the clock. At least Red Devils were able to stifle that a little bit, but 2 minutes is still quite a bit of time.
Yeah, I think that in the vast majority of games, if somebody is getting 3 points with 2 minutes left, I'm thinking to myself, oh, that is a really tough game to fight back against. I would feel very sad if I was on the defender's end, but we're so used to stomps here in Wasia, and it just comes down to the fact that on any given day, a team could be running hot, a team could be 5ing S5, a team could have figured something out about their opponent. That's what made it so exciting to commentate here. But here and now, unfortunately, it does look like Prairie High School just has the better call. That's going to be both supports picked off really early on. Mauga, of course, back into the meta right here, so darn strong, opening up so much space to just allow for Dawn to make quick work of the rest of the team. That is going to be a staggered out team kill. More time taken off the clock here. East Valley High School already behind the pace that was set scorchingly by Prairie High School at the start of that first round.
Yeah, and I gotta feel like the team communication here from Prairie is phenomenal. It's more specifically with Senator Slime and Don. These two from the tank to the DPS seem to be working very well together. They have great target acquisition, often chopping down diving the same target, so to speak. And so they can continue to do that. We're gonna see a lot more success here as Don finds Tracer as well. And they just continue to find these early picks that set them up for that player advantage. And then Don again in the back line attacking the support. Senator Slime right there as well on the other support. And with no supports, the final remaining DPS and tank will fall. Just some really great plays here as a cohesive unit from Prairie High School.
Yeah, and the real question now becomes for East Valley, what exactly the problem is? Is it communication? Is it positioning? Maybe it's Maybelline. We really don't know. One of the things that I wanted to bring up from that last round that we saw was MJ Sev was in a position where they should really be able to hear and be aware of Dawn on the approach. Obviously, Genji is going to try to harry and disrupt the Widowmaker as much as possible, but MJ Sev stayed up there on window trying to get a choicey pick, weren't able to find anything, and I think that kind of theme has played out time and time again as we see the ult wombo combo come down. Senator Slime getting the cage fight started. Dawn on a 3K so far, making a 4K at the fadeaway of their ultimate. Another team kill, and now with a minute 40 on the clock, we may not even see a single point taken here by East Valley.
Yeah, again, Don and Senator, I mean, the whole crew, right, is playing very, very well together, but these two are just diving the same target. They're just immediately eliminating somebody, if not two people off rip, and they continue to work off of that player advantage. We do see an ult in favor of Leviathan here. A couple very close on the other side, including this soldier one that they could get some value from here, but they're going to need to find some picks off of this ult because they are running out of time.
Yeah, luckily they do have the ult advantage for the time being. Boingo Cat should be able to play slow enough to be able to pick up towards theirs as well, but Terra Surge needs to get a lot. Everything right now needs to go in favor of East Valley High School, and we've seen how easy it is for Prairie High School to blank ults in the past. So will that happen again? We are going to see the Tactical Visor come out here. Leviathan picked off early in this one. Dawn worryingly low, will not be able to get out of the way of this damage tracking, and now Terra Surge is going to clear out the point. Werby goes down on the other side. Agent Guest also going to sacrifice themselves, but Senator Slime doesn't really have a healer left, and that means that they are going to have to fall back and respect this. Beyonce didn't want to pull the trigger on that Death Blossom, and so this point will be had, I think. No, Malga wants to rush back in. Here comes the Death Blossom. Beyonce with one. Senator Slime knocks down the Boyo Cat, and even as the Blizzard comes out, this is going to allow for a staggered pushback out onto the point. Dawn able to get the headshot onto Agent Guest. Werby will get the fadeaway kill. MJ Seb as well, securing or attempting to secure the point, but Leviathan pulls away alongside Beyonce to once again keep the holds going. And so East Valley High School are not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, into overtime. I almost thought Beyonce used that ult a hair too late, but it came up big, and now with that pick there and that one to follow, the overtime wick has been lit, but it's only a matter of time before it will burn out. The numbers do favor Prairie at the time being. Agent is going to find a consolation prize, but with Dawn on the blade slicing and dicing, Beyonce will wrap it up, and with that, Prairie High School will take map number 1 in quite dominating fashion.
And this really shows the difference between a very strong team, Hot Sauce, and an unassailable team. Because minute mistakes now become the difference maker. And frankly, Prairie High School has exploited every one of those small mistakes East Valley High School are making. Small positional disadvantages. You're on a little bit too far forward, going to be cut off by the Malga Stomp, right? You see stuff like this where you're just not respecting Deadeye. You know that it's triggered around the corner, and yet you still peek it. These are the outcomes of it. A crushing defeat for map number 1, and now East Valley High School are kind of on the brink here in quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, that's the tough position when you get into these playoff series, when you're playing an undefeated team like Prairie. You nailed it. Like, when you make a minor mistake, even if it's only one here or there, this is the type of team that's going to capitalize on that almost, if not every single time. And that's what they did here in map number 1. But, you know, again, it's Kings Row, right? A map that everybody's comfortable with. They probably play that map lights in, lights out. It most likely was their map pick as well, being that top seed. So now we head toward Escort. Hopefully this is going to be be Red Devils map pick. They'll have an opportunity here to maybe find a map that they're a little more comfortable on, but I don't know how you compete with Prairie right now. Their team synergy, everything seems to be firing on all cylinders. Don and Senator Slime really have a great cohesiveness, whether it's the Maga or the Junker Queen with that Genji. They dive the back line, they target the same person, the same squishy, and they just kind of pick apart that back line, and then the tank obviously is going to have a tough time standing up without that support. So it seems like they came with an educated game plan, and they're executing it very, very well here.
Yeah, I really think that right now, East Valley High School, for as much as they've built quite the storied history here in Wasia, have met their match. Prairie High School, also notably only being the 3rd seed, just means that this is an incredibly stacked and incredibly difficult run to go on from that 6th seed position, regardless of if you're going to somehow pull off a miracle here and actually be able to take down Prairie High School on what is going to be Junkertown as their next map.
Hey, I actually like Junkertown a lot. So, and again, it's not something that we've seen a ton of throughout the regular season here, as we have had a lot of control and some push bots, some clash here or there, and we don't often get to that 3rd map. So, I think I maybe got to see Junkertown once throughout the regular season, but nonetheless, it's a map that I really, really enjoy. It offers a lot of different things. There are some close corridors, some twisty, turny areas, but there's a lot of long sight lines as well. So you get a little bit of the best of both worlds.
You see, I think it's way too much on the side of long sightlines, Hot Sauce. I am a huge Junkertown hater. I hate playing on this map. Sometimes casting this map is fun. Other times, it becomes a sniper battle where people are picked off in an instant, and as a play-by-play caster whose brain's a little bit slow, I never get to the action in time, man. So it's a real challenge one way or the other. But we do have the inklings of comps beginning to develop here on our screen. Excited to see if this is actually what is going to come through. Looking like the defenders jamming a Bastion and a Widowmaker as their 2 DPSs. I think Bastion really shines on this map. This is a pick that we've seen time and time again as the meta shifts. I don't know, were you around for Sailboat comp by any chance?
What's that?
Were you around for Sailboat comp?
No, I was
so
not.
It's on attackers. You would go Baptiste, Reinhardt, or Sigma, and a Bastion, or both Reinhardt and Sigma, because it was 2 tanks at the time. And you would just sit on top of the point with a Bastion in turret form, and you would have the Baptiste Lantern and then 2 layers of shields to protect the Bastion. And it was called Sailboat because the big shields would look like sails, like pushing the payload forward. But it was there then. It's going to be here now on defense this time, oddly enough. And yeah, so this is one of the places where, I guess, by being such a badly designed map, Hot Sauce, we get some characters you usually do not see picked on other more balanced places.
Well, I mean, there's 2 things that I love, and one is sniping and another is Bastion. And so, I'm okay with it. And also, I love the fact that this has that Mad Max feel as far as the map goes. So for me, I do enjoy the map, but it's, to each his own. It's not for everybody. I like that Wastelander style. Obviously, Maga can be huge here as well, especially with him being back into the meta. But for me, it's always fun to, do they lean a little more towards those meta picks? Are they going toward that comfortability pick? It does seem like Prairie is comfortable on multiple different agents or characters as well as the Red Devils. We saw several swaps coming out from the Red Devils there, more specifically on that tank role. So MJ did very good on the Widow, had some nice snipes. We will see Agent on that Bastion there as well. Ramatra has that shield, can work forward, able to mitigate. The Brigitte there as well can kind of supplement and help mitigate some of that damage. So, maybe a little bit of a mini Sailboat there for you.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely see what the call is going to be. And, as I keep talking about how much I dislike this map, and I think being a Lucio player, you can understand why there's just nowhere to hop to, and there's so many long sight lines to just be shot at. But what this does enable is stuff like what I thought was going to be a venture pickup. No, Beyonce, why are you doing this to me? All of that preamble, only for them to go back to the Cassidy. But you know what? It was a brilliant Cassidy. Got that highlight reel in game number 1. We're going to see now whether they can make lightning strike twice. Because already we have to ask the question, is MJ Sev going to be able to pick up a kill early on in these trades, or are they just going to get run down by Don yet again on this Genji? The answer seems to be the latter for the time being. Dark Zero doing their best to try to keep people topped up, and now they are becoming the target of Don's ire. Will just have to fall back from this initial entrenchment up high. Now here comes Senator Slime, buying tons of great advantage here by moving up top on this Sigma, and already the picks are coming through.
Yeah, Don only finds a pick onto the Juno, but reflects the snipe shot back to the Widow and takes out the Widow as well. Just, again, great situational awareness here by Don. Senator showing they can play the Sigma as well. Now they get to kind of swarm the remaining players that are left standing here, as we do see Agent is going to go down. And now, at the risk of being staggered here, they have to be careful because the tank is going to go down. We see the rest of the crew trying to pressure in here. Werby's going to fall as well. And unfortunately for them, it is going to create a bit of that stagger, so the kills will come out. And with that, they have a little bit easier time pushing this payload here to this first destination.
Well, I am a little bit worried that this could just be the end of the road for East Valley High School. Already another first point just dissolves their attempts at defense, just not playing the way that they were expecting here. Senator Slime already accelerated up towards that ultimate. And you look at the percentage counts on the other side, and there's nothing that can match back. In a lot of cases, you have to desperation swap immediately off these original picks. And what that is leading to is Warby being the closest to picking up their ult in the form of a rally. But I don't know if you want to try to go melee v melee here versus the likes of Dawn. Beyonce's been doing a great job on the fadeaway as well. And Senator Slime can provide immense amounts of peel for the squishies just by, you know, dropping the ult, lifting everybody up and singing a song. Here we go. Senator Slime goes low, but still manages to get 3 on the toss. Rock on the back end of this one, make it a 4K, trying to just get the full wipe by themselves. Dark Zero picked off by Don at the end. And frankly, I think Prairie High School are running away with this.
Yeah, and I was hoping to see MJ switch. We are going to see that. Just not getting a lot of value out of the Widow, especially with the Sigma shield in that front line. It's hard to break through and really do that damage. Of course, when you have Dawn in the back line as well, it makes it even more difficult. And Sigma, another character that does well against the Bastion, so we will see that Reaper come back out. You just hope that these changes aren't coming in a little bit too late here, because there's been a ton of damage already done. Still 5.5 minutes on the clock here as they're into that second choke point.
All right, well, choke point for some, for others, just another golden opportunity to get picks. Dark Zero, Werby dead, and I think that that will be Prairie High School making short work of this entry onto the final push necessary to just bring this one home. The Boingo Cat having to go really far forward there to try to act as a lightning rod for their team, and unfortunately, MJ7 Agent Guest still can get out, and now the Ramatra is just dead on top of it as well. Annihilation almost ticked up towards Ramatra, can do a whole lot, but notably outside of Mr. Meowski on this Ana, the mobility out of Prairie High School side, or the durability, is enough, I think, to be able to just play this kind of fadeaway game where you put Speed Ring down, Senator Slime's getting up to ultimate, may just be able to fly out of there. Beyonce's already looking to just play on high points anyway because they have the Deadeye available, and it means that it's going to be really tough for Ramatra to get a whole lot of value here. In fact, may not even come through. Senator Slime working point once again. It's a double kill to follow through on Beyonce. Mr. Meowski and company just getting the full team wipe, and there will be no stopping this push. 4 minutes on the clock. Prairie High School set themselves up to take the series 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, this is just insane gameplay, right? Like, especially for a set of high schoolers. I mean, I'm a little bit baffled right now. And it just, again, to reiterate, it just goes to show you how much talent is littered across this WSSEA division, because they're only the number 3rd seed, but they are still 6-0 throughout the regular season, which is absolutely insane. So, you know, and again, they show that they can do it on multiple different characters here as well. Senator Slime has just been an insane asset, and again, we saw it on the Sigma here, multiple triple kills off of that ult, continuously finding great value and utilizing not only those ults together but staggering them out a bit. They've always had a good ult economy, and so that's why we're pretty much going to see maybe the same comp, but it does look like a bit of a swip. We were going to see Beyonce on the Widow this time, Mr. Meowski on the Zenyatta, which I'm really excited for because I personally love Zen, and for you get a little bit of Lucio.
I do get a little bit of Lucio. Unfortunately, I don't think it's good on the attacker side, especially because what is your goal here, right? You want to dive the squishies, you want to dive Mr. Meowski, you want to dive Beyonce. Well, imagine just like going in a straight line at them for like 80 meters. You're just asking for trouble here. In most cases, yeah, a Widowmaker would be afraid. A Widowmaker would struggle to be able to hit you, but it's just incredibly hard to get the most out of Lucio movement on this map early on. Werby is going to go for it, though. Let's see what the call is going to be. Boingo Cat dropping onto a Junkrat pick here, just trying to get fire from above going for the time being. looks like right now we're doing a decent job of slowly inching forward, getting the pay lead rolling, but worryingly, right now, MJ7 is already incredibly low, and they haven't been able to find a pick onto this backline that Prairie High School is using to just out-damage every single time we see anybody on Blue Squad side poke their heads up.
And interesting enough, it's MJ that's onto the tank. We saw it was Boingo earlier, but making a little swap as roles here as well. And Zarya is nice. You know, you can kind of get charged up here and maybe make something happen. Got to be careful of that Discord orb and look to try and break that. But again, now starting to take a lot of damage. There's great positioning here from Prairie as they drop down. Senator Slime finds the first one onto the tank, and with that, it will spell disaster. Mr. Meowski will find a pick onto the support. Senator Slime will chuck him on in and get Boingo here as well. And they just continue to find these picks and stand strong. Don in the back line spelling more trouble, and already the ult on deck and ready to flex. So we'll let that melody sing one more time, wasting absolutely no time, but didn't get a lot of value out of it. Don's still able to find Werby though, and looking to stand strong here. 2:35 on the clock.
Yeah, I think Senator Slime just realized, oh, I got ult. Well, I'm about to get it in another 15 seconds because apparently East Valley High School's only strategy at this point is just pray that somebody on Prairie High School messes up, and right now, Red Squad is playing flawlessly. The extent to which a Sigma is working as this hyper-aggressive initiator is not something you see outside of teams like Prairie. They are so well adapted to finding advantages on anyone. Notably, though, we do have Agent Guest winning a sniper duel versus Beyonce here. That is buying the first man advantage we've seen in a while for Blue Squad side, and the question is, can they get something off of that? Beyonce going to actually stay on this Widowmaker, but another great pick coming through. MJ Sev killing Mr. Meowski, and Leviathan goes down, and so as the cards begin to drop, this will actually be East Valley High School getting a tangible material advantage with 2 ultimates as well as the first point.
Yeah, I'd like to see him make it to this first checkpoint here. So a job well done after stumbling just a bit. Maybe this swap to Ash has been good. Of course, Boingo now on the Bastion, so having some success. They have a couple ults to work with, including this Kitsune Rush, so they still have an opportunity here to make this push even further. The ult economy relatively close here for both of these squads, as we do see Don almost has that ult, and we'll get it on deck here.
Yeah, the thing that I'm looking at right now is that timer, right? You're getting restored to less time on second point than you have in total to push through on Prairie's side, which makes this incredibly difficult to get value off of. And unfortunately, look at this Kitsune Rush. In fact, it is just going to allow for people to run even quicker at Prairie High School and give up their lives, as Don is going to respond in kind with a Dragon Blade for the ages, getting the full wipe going. And now, with only the Werby ultimate available, they're going to have to try to contend with Beyonce letting Red Squad know where everybody is, and Mr. Meowski having that transcendence for a massive hold.
Yeah, I mean, Senator Slime and Don go together better than peanut butter and jelly at this point. They work so well together. It doesn't matter if it's a dive comp or not. The target acquisition, the comms, everything must be absolutely on point right now, because this whole team is just firing on all cylinders, making almost no mistakes here, as Mr. Meowski is going to find Agent as well. Has the Transcendence on deck. Again, Senator Slime already using another ult, finds the triple, make it a quadra, as the team kill will rain down yet again, and another great stop here from Prairie High School.
So, Hot Sauce, we were talking about it off stream for a little bit, but, you know, we were just coming off of 2 respective Rocket League broadcasts. I had just casted 2 back-to-back 3-0 stomps, and I've already worked through my entire thesaurus of words like demoralizing, a slaughter, a clobbering, utter humiliation, and really, unfortunately, I'm going to pull out those same words yet again. Werby going to try to desperation ult here, trying to buy a little bit of tempo, but unfortunately, given that Agent Guest was already dead in this one and the Boingo Cat is going worryingly low, it's still a permanent man advantage for Prairie High School to once again clean up the point, pull out the brooms, pull out the mobs. It looks like it's going to be a sweep here, as with the Kiriko falling and only 2 minutes left on the clock, East Valley High School need a miracle to pull this one through.
Yeah, Prairie's just trouncing them at the moment, but honestly, again, it just really goes to show you how good Prairie High School is, because we've seen the Red Devils play very, very well before. They're 4-2. They have a plethora of talent as well, but, you know, as they say, any given Sunday, and maybe just not having as much success today against this very talented Prairie High School team that, again, I think they came with a solid game plan, and they're just executing it very well. And I don't know if Senator Slime has a game genie attached to his game, but, I mean, he's got an all every 15 seconds here. They do a great job of the alt economies. We'll see the Melody come out once more, and it's just, how do you stop this? Again, Senator Slime finding that one. Here's Don. We talked about the tag team that they've got going on, and in the back line, finding Werby here as well. They continue to pick them apart, find the early picks, and get the player advantage.
And while Dawn does die with Dragon Blade available, we have only 59 seconds for East Valley High School to get the retouch, and furthermore a hard shove without having to just burn their 4 ult stack in order to touch the point. And I do think that if they can get over that hump, we may be able to see them try to grasp onto a chance to take this one into the overtime, but it's going to be immensely difficult. Beyonce still staying on this Widowmaker is once again going to be kind of an awkward shape there. With Senator Slime and Leviathan dropping, Beyonce is going to have to fall back. This could be enough. Mr. Miowski actually is going to Transcendence away a little bit too late to save their players. This could be the golden chance we were talking about.
Yeah, I really thought they could have got it with just the 2 ults from Bastion and Zarya, but we did see the Kitsune Rush come out. I would have liked to maybe seen that hold on just a little bit longer. They still have the Bob at a minimum, but again, that could have been a dangerous play that might cost him here. We will see Senator Slime swap over to the Winston here. Mr. Miowski on the Lucio as well, and they should be able to get back.
Oh, no.
Maybe to find one more fight. Don on the blades gets him, but Werby quick to find that trade. The overtime fuse is lit, and this could be the last fight of the game.
Yeah, Bob being dropped. They need to play cleanly here and now. Point still has not moved all the way over to get a time reset going. Werby going to use the beat drop of their own, and it looks like with Agent Guess being the only one folding at the tail end of that fight, East Valley High School will be able to win the trades. Prairie High School now having to try to hold the spinal point. Minute 20 on the clock for East Valley to try to keep this game aloft.
Trying to keep it going here. Just a minute and 10 seconds on the clock. And again, I got to hand it to them. They're fighting through the grit, the determination here to continue to power forward after almost being stalled out before the first checkpoint. So they continue to fight all the way to the end. I love the determination here from East Valley. But only 50 seconds here. There's not a lot of alts close, but I do believe Prairie might be able to get at least 2 alts on deck here before the end of the game, and that could be the stop they need, because if you look at the side of East Valley, they don't really have anybody potentially close to an alt here.
Yep. Senator Slime swapping over to the Winston, a little bit more dive-oriented, just trying to push the tempo of the game and win trades. I will say, though, this seems to be the least successful group of attempts that we've seen coming through from Prairie High School. That being said, Senator Slime is back up to an ultimate. Once again, Primal Rage available. Gets the Wombo to just knock Agent Guest into a sidewall and out into the great beyond. And now Leviathan able to get back around the corner, has the ultimate available. Actually going to drop Orbital Laser here as Prairie's representative here in the tank roll just jumps around the corner, pushing everybody off. 5 seconds left on the clock. This is the wrong time to go down, and that is it. Prairie High School will advance to the semifinals.
Yeah, a great job. And honestly, I'd like to see who's above them in the seeding, because they are looking like the team to beat here. The team synergy, everything really just falling into place. Senator Slime, an absolute goat, doing on multiple tanks. Don there, a menace on the Genji, as we take one more look at this play of the game. And you better believe the melody will be sung.
Yeah, great stuff. Senator Slime getting the play of the game here at the very end, and frankly, it's incredibly deserved, because it's not only here on Junkertown that they shine, but it was Kings Road before that, and throughout the entire darn season, Hot Sauce. And so I'm very excited to say that we're mostly going to be seeing these guys again broadcasted here on WSSEA as they try to make their way towards that grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting the further along we get. I can't wait to see some more of these undefeated teams hopefully clash and go head to head. It was again, I got to hand it to the Red Devils, though. They never gave up. They continued to fight even when they were down, and I love to see that determination coming out from such young students, because we don't often talk about the mental aspect of the game, and sometimes it can be mentally defeating when you get beat that bad in game number 1 or such, things like that. So to see them continue to fight all the way through to the end, I certainly tip my hat to them, and I look forward to seeing them here in the next season as well, and look for those improvements.
Yeah, of course. And, what I really do love about high school is that those improvements are going to come. and we get to write that story here on WSSEA. Asked for because we got a lot more great esports on the docket. You know, I've been able to dip my toe to Fortnite. I've been able to dip my toe into Street Fighter. Did a little bit of Tetris earlier on with another LANFest broadcast earlier this season. And so, if you guys are interested in these other games that are being played by the very best that high school has to offer, make sure that you guys drop a follow here, drop a follow on IEN and elsewhere as well. But I believe that's about it for us tonight, Hot Sauce. Speaking of other games, we've got Street Fighter 6 coming up tomorrow as they're also moving into playoffs.
Yeah, do not get enough credit. Our job is much easier up here in the front. And of course, all of you hanging out with us in chat, we certainly appreciate each and every one of you. That legend over there has been the Arco. My name is Hot Sauce. You all have been absolutely amazing. We hope to see you back here tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific. Until then, have a wonderful night, everyone.